guys, welcome back to Sloughs Finest, and today I'm joined by someone that you might know, the Sloughs Town FC goalkeeping coach, Trent Phillips. How are you doing, Trent?
I'm good, Max. How are you doing, mate?
I'm good. How are you and family with this lockdown?
Yeah, not too bad. We're doing all right. We're holding up. It's crazy times at the moment, but we're getting there.
Yeah, that's a bit like us. So I know you have two children, as on your... when you gave me your gloves, obviously, it says your children's names on here.
Yeah.
So,
Darcy and Marnie.
Darcy and Marnie, yeah. I see them every day.
They're currently downstairs, locked in the front room so they don't interrupt Dad. So,
yeah.
I'll go down there to a mess in a minute, probably. But there
Yeah.
you go.
Obviously, you're a very good goalkeeping coach, but you also had a very good playing career. So, on the Sloughs Town website, it says that you played for the Swans. So,
Yeah.
Is that Swansea?
No. I played for most of my football was at Staines, who are also known as the Swans. But I also played at Walton and Hersham. I had one season there, who were also called the Swans. So you've got two clubs very local, who are both the Swans.
Yeah.
And I also played 3 or 4 seasons. I finished my career at Egham Town, which is another local club.
Yeah.
But they were my main 3 clubs. There were others scattered around, but they were the majority of my appearances were at those 3. Yeah.
So obviously, another big part of your footballing life is Brentford. I already see on your Twitter, at Griffin Park. You're at Griffin Park. But your dad had a very good career, didn't he?
Yeah. Dad was he was at Brentford for just over 10 seasons.
Wow.
I think he's the second highest appearances for a goalkeeper in the club's history.
Wow.
I think that's correct. I was too young to remember there, but I spent a lot of my childhood at Griffin Park and going up and down the country. My mum was very active in following my dad around the country and watching games.
Yeah.
So, so I grew up being a Brentford fan. My granddad used to take me when my dad was still playing non-league football, etc., and I would go. And then in the 90s, I think it was 91, 92, my dad got asked to go down there and to help out training the first 2 goalkeepers. And at that time, I'd actually broken my leg. I was only 20, 21. And I used to go with him to watch. And as I started to get fitness, they actively encouraged me to go in and train with them, which is a great experience to train with the likes of Dean Holdsworth, Gary Blissett, people like that, Marcus Gale, etc., who were my heroes at the time. And there I was, a little starstruck 20-year-old diving around in Griffin Park trying to kick the ball out the net in front of them. It's quite an experience, that. Yeah,
so obviously your dad's in the Brentford Hall of Fame. So how does that feel, seeing your dad's name at the Hall of Fame?
It's amazing, really. My dad was a very shy person. He didn't like the adulation. He didn't like to go to Griffin Park to watch games because he was shy and he didn't want people to recognise him, etc. He wasn't not proud of his achievements, but he couldn't deal with it. He was a bit shy about it.
Yeah.
So I actually took a phone call. Somebody called me. I was playing golf at the time, and it was from the club. And they were, look, we know what your dad's like, but we want to encourage him to come into the Hall of Fame. Do you think he'd do it? And I didn't even ask him. I just told him, yeah, put him in.
Yeah.
So I had to then break that news to my mum when I got home. And we managed to talk him into going through with it.
Yeah.
And it was a sad time, really, because I didn't know it at the time, but he was feeling unwell. And 2 days after he was inducted to the Hall of Fame, he was diagnosed with this cancer, which cost him his life. So it was a pretty mixed time.
Yeah.
It was good that he got in, and hopefully they'll do something at the new ground. We actually, a friend of ours and 2
Yeah.
And he loved the people there, so it meant a lot to him. So it means a lot to us as well.
Yeah, so obviously you support Brentford. That's a bit like my family. So we're Arsenal and Slough. Then you got my nan who's Chelsea. Then you got my uncle who's QPR. Then you got my granddad who supports Wolves. So
That's a strange one, isn't it?
yeah, I think when he was born in like 1946.
Right.
And I think he decided he liked what Wolves were doing because they were like winning all like the stuff back then.
Yeah,
They were a decent side.
Then, weren't they?
I think they won the FA Cup in '66.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
They're doing well at the moment as well.
yeah, they're in the Premier League as well. So
Yeah, Nunes has done a good job there.
yeah, so he's backed them pretty much all his life. So he's Wolves, which I still don't know why, but he don't really tell me. But that's what I guess what happened. How he like supported them. So they're like my kind of like second Premier League team.
Right.
Because your first
You
team.
need the second one when you support Arsenal, didn't you? So.
Oh, Trent. Nah. Right. So let's move on to you being a goalkeeping coach. Was you a goalkeeping coach at Staines?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did it for 9 seasons at Staines.
Oh, that's a fair few years, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm getting on now.
I won't ask you your age. We don't need to ask you your age.
Well, let's put it this way. My nickname becomes true in February. I've become 50 Trent, so that's all you need to know.
Oh. Right, so obviously you was at Staines. Did you know that Jack Turner was at Staines? Obviously, he was at Staines before he came Slough. You were at Staines before you came Slough. Like.
Yeah. Jack wasn't there when I was there. Jack came literally the year that I left.
Yeah.
Myself, the manager and the coach, we quit. We kept him up and we quit.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the chairman had passed away, who was a good friend of ours, and it was quite an emotional season, and we decided we were physically exhausted and we wanted a break, so we took a break.
Yeah.
The plan was that we'd get another job together, but that just didn't materialise for whatever reason. And then I got a phone call a year later from John Underwood asking me if I could come in and help just do a few sessions for Slough, and
Yeah.
the rest is history, really.
Yep. So obviously now you're at Slough. Obviously that was it a bit of a step up from Staines?
At the time, Staines were in the Conference South, where Slough are now.
Yeah.
And it's actually roles reversed, and Slough were in the league that Staines are now in. So,
Yeah.
in terms of a step up, it wasn't in terms of the league that they were playing in at the time.
Yeah.
But in terms of history of the club, when I grew up, when I was playing,
Yeah.
Slough Town were in the Conference National.
Yeah.
And were up the top end of that league.
Yeah.
And you know, we used to play, when I played in the youth team at Staines, we played in the same league as the Sloughs juniors. We
Yeah.
used to love coming over to play at Wexham Park. The pitch was always a gorgeous ground.
Yeah.
Loved it. And I always sort of like looked at Slough as being a proper football club.
Yeah.
And obviously they had their issues with the finances and losing the right to use Wexham Park, etc.
Yeah.
And you know, and thankfully for the fans and some, you know, certain people around the club that are still there now, that club could have gone out of business, and that would have been an absolute travesty. It would have been.
Yeah.
So, in terms of prestige, etc., it was definitely a step up to come to a club like Slough Town.
Yeah, so obviously you trained Jack, and obviously you have to get there pretty early to see Jack warm up. So some games, when I get there, I don't even see Jack warm up because he goes in really early. But some games, when I do get there like earlier, I do see him warm up, and everything he does, like your training, is absolutely amazing. So explain what it feels like training Jack.
Jack's really like most goalkeepers in that they like to have a routine.
Yeah.
They like to do certain things. I wouldn't go so far as to say he's superstitious, but if we do something and he feels good about it and it makes him feel good, we'll do it again. So, you know, the warm-up that we do is pretty basic.
Yeah.
You know, Jack's a fit guy. He's naturally athletic.
Yeah.
His kicking is a big part of his game, his distribution, etc. So, you know, you can't just turn up and expect to turn that kind of kicking on. It does take a lot of work.
Yeah.
You know, I take no credit for Jack's striking and his distribution. He had all of that before he came to Sloughs.
Yeah.
You know, but you have to work on it regularly to keep it up to the standard that he sets himself. And,
Yeah.
you know, it does require us to be out there a bit early to do that.
Yeah.
You know, and Bates has got to take a lot of credit for that as well, because I know a lot of managers who wouldn't want their goalkeeper going out as early as he does and before they do the team talk, because we actually go out before they've done the team talk.
Oh.
And then they call us in for the team talk, and then we come out again.
Oh.
So they've actually accepted that as well, which is a massive thing, and they deserve credit for that as well. So yeah, it's good. Jack's such a lovely lad.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a pleasure to work with. You know, he looks out for me. I look out for him. He's one of those.
Yeah. You two are both lovely guys. Obviously, I've got Trent's gloves here, and I've got Jack's gloves here. So it just shows that you're both really nice guys, and like you always like credit the fans and stuff.
Yeah, well, without the fans, and this is going to be weird when we go back for these playoff games.
Yeah.
Without the fans there, football's nothing really. I think everybody's seen the football. I think there's been one or two decent games out of all of these that have been played without a crowd. Football's nothing without fans, and you know, we appreciate everything that the guys do, the money they spend to follow us up and down the country.
Yes.
If it means I have to do a text after every game, I'm going to do it, because it means a lot to us.
Yeah.
It really does. But whilst you're talking about gloves, I did order a pair of gloves that have been made especially for thanking the NHS, and I did put on my Twitter what I was going to do with them.
Yeah.
So I have decided that I'm going to raffle them. So I'll be doing it through the club, and I'm going to get Jack, myself, and Noyes to sign them, all three of us.
Yeah.
Any sort of supporters who want to buy a ticket to try and win them,
Yeah.
welcome, raise more money for the NHS.
Yeah, so Trent, just send me over the link, and then I'll put that in the description below. So if you want to join the raffle, I'll probably enter to try and win those gloves, because I've seen them also. I was going to order a pair, but it turned.
I think they stopped making them now because they just flew off the shelves.
Yeah.
I know another company have done a very similar thing, and he's got all of the Premiership goalkeepers, Chris Kirkland. He's got all the Premiership goalkeepers to sign them, and he's raffling them off. You know, I can't do that because I don't have the contacts that he has, but you know, Jack and Noyes, they'll sign them for any Sloughs fan who wants them.
Exactly.
And we can make a few quid for the NHS.
Yeah.
They deserve it.
Exactly. So before we move on to our questions, let's talk about this season. This is kind of my first proper season, going to like every single game. Last season I started in October, November, and then I went to a couple of games before that. But obviously, this is my first season, like going home and away every single game. So we're just going to talk about a few standout games for me. So let's talk Welling away.
Yeah, that was a standout game for me because that's the first time that the singing boys behind the goal actually came behind the dugout, and that's where I saw you. why you got my gloves that day. I was so impressed. You were leading the singing and, you know, the passion in your eyes. It was brilliant. It was brilliant to see. So that's why you got the gloves that day, mate.
Yeah, so for Welling Away, which people didn't actually see on the vlog, there were a group of kids that like came in front of us, which was like pretty weird. So there was about 150 Slough fans in that like little stand, and then you had like 4 like maybe like 8, 9-year-olds trying to sing us out, and like it was like so funny because they were just standing there, but they knew they couldn't do anything because we were singing so loud.
Yeah, they didn't stand a chance, did they?
Nah, they didn't. But fair play to them because none of the other fans were singing, but the little group of 9-year-olds, hello, good singing at that day. Now let's move on to Dorking away. So obviously the big game for us with the 5-3 win. To be fair, I thought it was going to be, was it 5-4 when Jack made that mistake?
Yeah. Down in the corner when he
Yeah.
run the ball.
We were standing right in front of that, and because I was standing on like this little thing, I saw it straight out. So I was going like, Jack, please get the ball, and I saw he like missed it, and I was like, no, and then luckily they missed, which was good.
That, you know, things like that happen, and
Yeah.
you know, it's just usually if a goalkeeper makes a mistake, it's a goal. So you know, you take that. So, but I did actually watch that on the rewind, and I was a bit disappointed really because that was probably the loudest I've ever heard our supporters.
Yeah.
And the glass screen on that stand didn't do it justice because you couldn't hear you on the footage, and it was disappointing because you know, we all said when we got in the change room, my God, how loud were they today? They were really loud, and you couldn't hear them on the recording, and that was so disappointing.
Exactly. And then the final one is Weymouth away, the last game of the season, and obviously the standout one from that game for us, well, not stand out in good ways, is that penalty miss. And I saw the Twitter after the game, and there was so much hate towards Jack Turner. Would you like to speak a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think a lot's been said about it, but there was a couple of incidents on that day. There were people I've never seen before making comments. One approached the bench, which if I ever see him again, I think it'll be too soon. You know, what these people, we don't want them following Sloughs down, people
Exactly.
like that. You know, I'm saying people can have their opinions and whatever, but nobody steps up and intentionally misses a penalty.
Exactly.
You know, you've got to have some bolts. I want to take a penalty, to be honest.
Yeah.
And Jack's wanted to do it for a while. He's taken them in the past in situations much bigger. You know,
Exactly.
Sutton, first round of the FA Cup, nobody batted an eyelid.
Yeah.
You know, he's taken it. The goalkeeper actually said to him afterwards, he said, if that was an inch lower, nobody would have said a thing. You know, and that's what football's about. It's about an inch or 2 difference.
Yeah.
He scores, we go in, we win that game, we draw that game 1-1, we come away from there with a point, we're still above them.
Yeah.
You know, and football's like that. It's small margins, and you know, to pull and to hear some of the comments that were made.
Yeah.
You know, you just had to see. You know, what people don't realise is that Jack's not the only one that sees those. It's his wife, his children. They see those messages, and it's not nice. He didn't deserve it. Nobody deliberately misses a penalty.
Yeah.
And it was very disappointing. It's not the standard that we expect from our own supporters. And hopefully, once we get up and running again, we won't see the lights again.
Yeah, I do actually know, not personally, I know who he is, but I do know someone that was doing it. Like, obviously, I've never spoke to him before, but I've recognised him before, and I do remember who it is, and I obviously won't disclose his name or anything, just for his protection, but
Jack made a mistake. Hopefully
Exactly.
he made a mistake, and he won't do what he did again. And we move
Exactly.
on. And that's the best way that we can do it, really, isn't it?
Yeah. So, is there any other games you want to talk about for this season, or should we move on to the questions?
Well, it's a funny old season, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, the first 3 games,
Yeah.
we didn't have a point out of them, and I was, you think we got such a good squad here,
Yeah.
confidence was could have gone through the roof, through the floor, really, but it didn't. The belief in the changing room never died.
Yeah.
And I think the turning point was the Bath City at home game.
Yeah. I think I was on holiday for that game, sadly. I think I was...
Oh, it was a cracker.
3-2, wasn't it?
3-2, yeah.
Yeah, I was on holiday. My mates were there.
That was a massive turning point. I think the week before as well, when we went to Maidstone,
Yeah.
who had just come down at the time, they were fans to go straight back up, full-time players, and, we went there, nobody gave us a prayer, and we got a good point, and could have been more, really, to be honest, but, those 2 games for me were the turning point of the season, and from then on, the run that we went on was...
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant, really.
So before we move to questions, I've just had a spark in my head about something that I should have put down on my notes. Let's talk about Kings Lynn away in the playoff final.
Right.
So what a big game that was. For so many reasons. For so many reasons, that game was big. So would you like to talk about that game?
Yeah, well, we travelled up on the Sunday. I drove up there. I think I took Warren and Jack. Oh no, Jack went separately. I took Warren. So we drove up there. Nice little run to the hotel. Met up. That was nice, etc.
Yeah.
But then, we'd been there before. We'd lost 1-0, and I thought we deserved something out of the game. And I just had a feeling that, they were counting their chickens, really, and I think they thought they'd won it when they beat Weymouth in the semi-final. I think they beat 3-0 or 3-1.
Yeah.
We'd seen a few comments and tweets that their players put out. And again, nobody really gave us a chance, really. And we turned up there, and, it's been well documented that the kick-off had to be put back 30 minutes.
Yeah.
They watered that pitch from when I got there, and as you've already commented, Jack gets there early, he likes to be there early, so we went early.
Yeah.
And they watered that pitch. And by the time we kicked off, it was a dust bowl. That's how hot that day was.
Yeah.
So I know you guys were undercover.
Oh, I sadly couldn't make it to that game.
Did you not make it?
No,
It's the hottest I've ever seen.
Yeah, it seemed really hot.
The players must have been drained, and to nick it at the last, it was an amazing day. It really was. It was something else, but the noise that they made that day as well.
Yeah.
And they had to get escorted out of town because of some idiots. Now, a lot of the Kings Lynn fans, they were fantastic. They stopped, waited, and they clapped us during the presentation and everything. There were just 1 or 2 idiots who, ruined it for everyone.
Yeah.
And it was just a shame. But, it was good. It was good to get back. And, that first beer didn't touch the sides, I can assure you.
Obviously, because I've sadly missed it, I went on YouTube, Kings Lynn v Sloughs playoff final, and one of the top ones was police make arrest outside Kings Lynn's ground. I watched the video just to see where it was, just to see if it was Slough fans, but no Slough fans were getting arrested. It was all Kings Lynn.
Yeah, it was. I think they were serving alcohol in cans, and they were drinking it while the game was going on. And some drink and youngsters, it's a bad combination. It'll only end up one way.
Yep. That was a cracking game, and then next week I'm interviewing Manny Williams, the man from the guy that sent us into the National League South. That'll be exciting to interview him next week.
But he's a legend, man.
Yeah.
He's probably the only person in the club who's near my age, I think. But yeah, he's a legend and he's a lovely guy.
Yeah, so we'll move on to the questions now. So, did you prefer training goalkeepers 5-10 years ago prior to them needing to be so good with the ball at their feet, or do you prefer training them now?
Well, to be honest, they've always had to be quite good with their feet since I've been coaching.
Yeah.
You know, they took away the back pass rule while I was still playing, so I was never coaching when you didn't have to pick the ball up. You could pick the ball up, so you've always had to be able to play a bit. Hence why my career, I think, got cut short through injury because I couldn't play.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't survive now. I couldn't do what Jack does and whatever.
Yeah.
My hamstrings and my groins wouldn't have let me do it. But there you go.
Yeah.
But no, as I said earlier, Jack knew how to do all that. I don't coach him how to do that.
Yeah.
You know, he's self-taught that. I just help him sort of service it, if you like, and make sure he just keeps practicing and gets himself in a good rhythm.
Yeah.
You know, he knows how he's striking. It's like a golfer. It's a golf ball.
Yeah.
You know, he knows if he's striking it well or if he's not. So
yeah. So I think it was the Berks and Bucks Cup semi-final at Marlow, and we were really, really, really low on numbers.
yeah.
And you were put on the bench for that game.
Yeah.
And I remember that Sloughs chant, "We want Trent, we want Trent," and I just remember your face, like nodding your head, no, no, no.
Yeah.
Like that will always stick in my mind because obviously I remember that game because Marlow cheated, but yeah, I still remember that. We want Trent, we want Trent.
Well, I did actually. I was on the bench for the Sutton FA Cup tie.
Was you?
And Jack went down injured and one of them, and I had a panic up that day as well when mates and unders said to me, "You better go and get warmed up." But yeah, those days are long gone now, I think.
Yeah. And that question was from Scott Dinsmore. So let's go for who do you think are the top 3 goalkeepers in the world?
See, now I can't do this. I looked at this one and I can't keep it. I can't get it down to 3.
Okay.
Now there's the guy at Milan. I don't see enough of him, but he's highly rated. But I don't.
Donnarumma.
Yeah. I don't watch it. I don't have time. I'm pretty funny with what football I watch.
Yeah.
I can't just sit there and watch game after game after game. Not with a 3-year-old and an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
So I have to say I think Kasper Schmeichel is.
Yeah.
He's got to be in the top 5 at the moment. You know, he is more than capable of doing things that his dad did.
Yeah.
Surprised he hasn't got a move from Leicester, to be honest, but you know, he is absolutely flying at the moment.
Yeah.
Obviously, I like Alisson, the calmness that he's brought into Liverpool, and I don't think it can be underestimated how much of an influence he's had on their last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
They were crying out for a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And he's coming in, and I know he got injured at the start of the season.
Yeah.
But you know, since he's come back in, they haven't looked to be conceding as many goals as they were.
Yeah. And they've obviously won the Premier League.
Well, they won that for the first time in 30 odd years. So my mum keeps telling me because she's a Liverpool supporter.
Oh.
But can't help that. But yeah, got Edison as well. City, obviously, his distribution is, you know, he's something else as well. But you know, the likes of De Gea, he's looked good in the past, but he's making more mistakes, etc.
Yeah.
But you know, I think some people are hypercritical of him at the moment. They to get on the bandwagon and want to crucify somebody, and that's the life of being a goalkeeper. You make a mistake and it is highlighted so much. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
As I said before, the centre forward can make 7 mistakes in one game, and then score in the last minute and be the hero.
Yeah.
The goalkeeper can be brilliant all game, drop one clanger in the last minute, be the villain. And that's the life of a goalkeeper, unfortunately.
Yeah, let's just switch up the question. Who do you think the best goalkeeper is all time?
Well, my hero when I was growing up, I had a couple of heroes.
Yeah.
I had, obviously, Pete Shilton was around at the time. He was the England goalkeeper.
Yeah.
His work rate, his ethics, etc. I used to admire him a lot. I personally, I thought at the time the Merseyside in the 80s had both the best goalkeepers in the world. Everton had Neville Southall at the time.
Yeah.
It was just unbelievable for Wales as well.
Yeah.
Some of the saves that he used to make for them, you know, were just unbelievable. And also Bruce Grobbelaar at Liverpool, who was my hero.
Yeah.
You know, and I actually think Grobbelaar could play in this era because he could use his feet. You know, and his distribution was something else. And I don't think Shilton could play in this era. I think Neville Southall would struggle in this era, but I think Grobbelaar could have played. He actually played towards the end of his career at Cheshire with a friend of mine, Matt Flitter, who was centre half. And he said like, it was a nightmare to play with because he couldn't guarantee that he'd be the last defender. He'd quite often turn around, and Grobbelaar was in front of him, dribbling round people, and he was the last man, like left to man the goal while he's gone off on dribbling the ball round everybody. So he was a bit of a character. He's got to be up there for me.
Yeah.
But, that's a personal one. Other people will say different people. But yeah, he's my hero when I grew up.
Yeah. So, what's your best moment at Slough?
See, now, I was thinking about this one, and obviously we've had the promotions at Kings Lynn.
Yeah.
And we've had the promotion at Kettering as well in the first season, which were great, brilliant days. But for me, my biggest and best day was the first FA Cup run. My dad had just been diagnosed, and it was always his lifelong ambition to go and watch the All Blacks play rugby. So myself and my sister got tickets to watch at Twickenham against the Barbarians. So I spoke to Bates and Hunters, and I said, look, you know what we're doing, and they were like, yeah, 100%, go for it. And of course, Sod's Law, we got through the first round of the FA Cup, and it was the same day I was going to the rugby with my dad.
Yeah.
So I'm there with my dad, watching him, seeing his face, how proud he is, whilst also in one ear I've got the AirPods in the ear, listening to Rebels radio, and we're sitting there having a drink and whatever, watching the game, and I'm listening, and we like Lynch scored just before half time, and I'm like, yeah, get in there, like, you know. And then he's got another one straight afterwards.
Yeah.
You know, that is my best memory because I'm standing there, and there must have been about 40 people around where we were sat who suddenly realised I'm wearing a Slough Town coat and a hat, and I'm there, and they're in the first round of the FA Cup, and we're winning 6-0. And people are going, and then people were turning around to me saying, "Oh, you scored again." You know, and my dad was like, "Oh, mate, you should have gone." And I was like, "I'm here with you. This is brilliant." And then I took a phone call from John Porter, who'd arranged for me to get a ticket to go up to Nottingham to meet the players, to have a party afterwards. So I made my way from Twickenham to Nottingham, met up with them, and I don't remember much more after that because, as I say, we were drinking, watching the rugby.
Yeah.
I think my last memory was John putting me in a cab at about 11 o'clock. And that was the best day for me at Slough.
Yeah.
Because to see the smile on Kev's face, you know, it was brilliant. It was a fantastic achievement for the club. I had no doubt that we'd get a result up there, but I didn't see a 6-0 coming.
Yeah.
But, it was brilliant.
So
Shorty Fraser even scored. That sounds great a day it was.
Yeah.
You know, that was brilliant. It was brilliant.
So, you might have seen this one, but this is a bit of one that's not related to football. Why is your new nickname at your golf club Barney?
Well, this guy, Paul Martin Jones, he used to be manager and chairman at Walton and Herschel Football Club.
Yeah.
He's a good friend of mine. I've played cricket with him for years, etc. Now he's not a member of the golf club. He's a social member.
Oh.
But he came back. I played last week with a group of his friends and stuff like this. Now, I will give people some stick and banter, and I'm quite outgoing in that way. So one of the downsides to doing that, Max, is that you get it thrown back at you quite a bit as well.
Yeah.
Now, last week I turned up at the golf club wearing a nice purple Callaway polo shirt that I bought.
Oh, Barney the big dinosaur.
Yeah, Barney the dinosaur. Because apparently I put a bit of weight on, someone said, and my arms seemed to have got stronger, and they all started singing "I love you, you love me," and it's sort of stuck now. So I can't wear this shirt again.
Oh.
It's currently hanging in the wardrobe. It won't be coming out again. But that's where Barney comes from, apparently.
Yeah, I used to watch that when I was a little kid.
Oh, right. Yeah, so hopefully it won't stick. But yeah, I did laugh when I saw he text that one in. But yeah, that's my new nickname.
So, how disappointed are you that you can't say goodbye to Griffin Park? And what is your favourite moment at Griffin Park?
Oh, favourite moment? It would have to be... now...
You can say a couple if you want.
I'd say probably when 1985, I think it was, or 86, they beat Newport County 6-0 in the second leg of the Freight Rover Trophy.
Yeah.
To go to Wembley, and I was there.
Yeah.
Gary Roberts got a hat-trick. It was just rocking. I think there was about 16,000 there that day. And it was just an amazing thing that Brooks were going to Wembley, etc. And I went to the final, and it was a bit of a damn swim. But yeah, that'd probably be my best memory, because I'd spent many a day there with my granddad going, and there'd only be 3,000 there or something like that. But there was like 16,000, 17,000 there, and it was absolutely rocking. But yeah, it was a disappointment. It was meant to be the 2nd of May, but there was absolutely no way I could go, because I was due to be doing a speech for a girl that I worked with at her wedding. I actually took her on when she was 16, so I've known her, must be 16 years, and she lost her father earlier in the year, and she asked me if I would speak at her wedding, so I couldn't turn that down. That was an honour to be asked. So I knew that even if I could get a ticket, I couldn't go, because it was the same day as the Barnsley game. So I knew a long time ago that I couldn't go, so I managed to actually go to the Leeds game.
Yeah.
I took my mum, took my eldest daughter, and the club, I have to say, Brentford always look after us with tickets, etc. Obviously knowing my dad played for them, etc. But we don't like to take advantage, so we don't ask very often. But for that one, we asked if they could get us the tickets, because they were like gold dust.
Yeah.
But we said we'd pay for them, and we did pay for them, and we had such a great time. And as I walked back to the station to go, I thought I'd get an iconic picture of the floodlights down from the road, etc.
Yeah.
And I got my camera out on my phone, just about to take it, and somebody turned the lights off, so I didn't manage to get that iconic photo. But yeah. But yeah, I've managed to get there 3 or 4 times this year. I actually went with Jack earlier in the season, because Jack likes a bit of football as well, and he was working on the new ground and managed to get us some tickets, so I went with him. So I think I've been about 4 or 5 times this season when nights are allowed, and it's been good to get back there. And you know, I think Thomas Frank summed it up when he said, like, you know, she smells a bit and whatever, but she's a lovely, you know, she's our home, and we're going to miss her, and I will. But the new ground looks fantastic. And, hopefully I'll get there as soon as I can, and season ticket. Obviously, that doesn't allow me to do that. I
Yeah.
think that's now, but that gives me the option to go with her every now and then. So I'd like to go there and see a game, obviously, but let's get the playoffs done first and see what we go from there.
Yeah. So if you wasn't a goalkeeper, where would you play?
Well, when I was at school, I love my football in my life. I wasn't very good at any of the academic studies, etc. I quite often be seen staring out at the PE team who were playing football and watching them play football rather than actually watching what was being written on the board. But I actually tried out for the year above to be the goalkeeper, and I didn't get in.
Yeah.
And the PE teacher said to me, "I'll tell you what, I'll play you left midfield." And I played the year above left midfield for about 6 years.
Wow.
So I'd probably say I'd have been a left-sided midfield. It was purely because they didn't have anyone who could kick the ball with his left foot. Not that I could, but he just stuck me there, and I did it for about 5 years.
Yes.
And I loved it.
So we'll move on to the quick fire questions now. Have you watched the one with Scott Davis?
Yes.
So I've changed up some of the questions, but you've got 2 of them which are the same. No, 3 of them. So we'll start off with bakes or unders.
Now I'm sitting right firmly on the fence on that one. You won't get me because they both have qualities. When I first came, I knew unders, didn't know bakes.
Yeah.
And bakes embraced me from word go. I can't separate them. They are both legends on and off the pitch, and things that they done for me off the pitch in recent times.
Yeah.
I can't speak highly enough of them, and I put John Porter in there as well. So no, can't separate them. 3 of them are up there for me.
Okay, so now we'll move on to burgers or pizza.
Burgers.
Yeah.
You'll always get a good burger.
Yeah.
But you can get some ropey pizzas.
Oh yeah, that is
Right.
definitely right. That is definitely right.
Warren Harris will go pizza all day long.
Yeah.
Barbecue chicken pizza all day.
Right, this is a new question I've thought of. What song do you prefer, Sweet Caroline or Wonderwall? Both really good songs.
Both really good songs. I will go Sweet Caroline.
Thank you. Yeah, I agree.
Not the Ben Harris version.
No. Oh,
No.
that was terrible.
I didn't hear it. Thankfully, I was in Greece.
Oh.
And I missed last year's Player of the Year too.
You were lucky.
I heard I was lucky. He took his top off at one stage.
Oh yeah. He was standing on the table swinging his top around. Yeah.
Yeah. No, not good look. Not good look.
Yeah. So the final quickfire question, I think it might be a bit similar to the bakes or unders. Sam or Lee Togwell?
Oh no.
Yeah.
You can't do this to me. I'll be honest and say, I knew of Lee a while before he came because Beaconsfield used to train in the same ground, and I used to watch him. I used to think he could play, this guy, whatever. And I knew his brother was a pro, and then when he came, the first time I really got to meet him, we had a team barbecue, and he was just life and soul of the party. He's not all there. Lee's the more sensible one.
Yeah.
Sam's the quiet one, and the quiet ones are the ones you've got to look out for. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're both good lads, and they give me some stick, I'll give them some stick. That's the way that it works in the football changing room.
Yeah, I do remember the Sam Togwell interview where he said a few stuff about the managers, and he says you don't even do anything.
Yeah, that's now all over. He turns up, pollutes the changing room, and then he just walks around. And picks some cones up. When I'm doing my crossing, what you can't see is all the boys are doing their stretches.
Yeah.
They are laughing. They're trying to put me off striking the ball. Every week they do it. It's gone safe. He's chip tip. The same old jokes come out every week.
Yeah.
And it'll be your Sam Togwells, it'll be your Scotty Davis one, it'll be him, Warren Harris chipping in. You've got your Josh Jackmans, people like that, they don't say nothing.
Yeah.
It's always the same ones. Ben Harris, it's good fun, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, so who's your football icon?
Well, I think, as I said to you earlier, Bruce Grobbelaar.
Yeah.
Yeah, used to love Bruce.
Yeah, so let's go on to the... hang on, before we go on to the final bit, obviously Sloughs playing playoffs now. So we're playing Dartford on the 18th or 19th of July. So are you really looking forward to that?
Yeah, desperately looking forward to it. Obviously, we've got to go through a lot of procedures before we can get to the game. The club have got to do certain things at the ground and ensure that they can host, etc. And everything will be done within the restrictions that we've got to apply. There's a lot of work going on off the pitch, and the lads doing their own fitness, etc. at this moment in time.
Yeah.
It's exciting. It's weird. Don't get me wrong. It's weird.
Yeah.
But it is also a huge opportunity for the football club and for the lads, and that's not lost. That's not lost on us. And it's a great opportunity. You're 3 games from the national prem.
Yeah.
And you just think, that's what we were. That in August last year, after those 3 games where we didn't have a point.
Yeah.
If you'd have said to us, right, you're going to get the playoffs, you're going to play behind closed doors, but you got 3 games, you could be in the prem. We've snatched it. We've said, we'll take it now. So to be told that they weren't going to let us to do it was a big kick in the teeth. A huge kick in the teeth. And you might have seen there was a few angry tweets, but the way that all of the managers, the chairman of the teams were in those positions has come together. Has to be applauded, to be honest. I saw a bit that Paul Doswell at Havant Waterlooville put in the non-league paper, and also the manager stroke chairman at Dorking Wanderers. He did a good interview where he's like, these lads deserve their chance to play. And who is it for the FA to say that we can't?
Exactly.
So fair play to them too for doing it publicly.
Yeah.
And Bates spoke about it as well. And it is the right and correct thing. And Wills don't deserve to be champions.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone could argue with that.
Exactly.
They were at the top of the league all season.
Games in hand as well.
So let's hope, fingers crossed, we can join them in 4 or 5 weeks' time. Whatever it is.
So obviously you said it's going to be behind closed doors, so that means those Slough fans will be able to sing. Will you be getting the microphone out and doing all the Slough songs for us?
There is absolutely zero chance of that. Right?
Trent.
I will be doing my normal duties, obviously, but having the safe distance. I'm not quite sure how they're going to do that, whether they're going to put seats down or we'll use the stands like most of them have been doing. But no, I will not be doing any of that. Maybe they could maybe you should do some recordings and get them to play it over the tannoy.
I'm pretty sure there's a video on this channel. It's a Slough Town Troll compilation. So there's loads of chants on there. So
Well, hopefully, it'll be selected for the BT Sport game. And you guys can see it. If not, I think it'll be streamed somehow. And hopefully you get to see it. But if we win it and we do go up, then I'm sure once normality returns, we can all get together and make sure that Ben Harris doesn't sing Sweet Caroline again.
Exactly. So it's got to the final point of the interview where you get to ask me a question. So what question would you like to ask me?
Right. Okay. So you are at the Emirates.
Okay.
You have a penalty in the last minute.
Yeah.
Who do you want to take it? Any Arsenal player.
Oh,
Arsenal present.
Oh, this is hard. Oh, right, we'll go full. I'm trying to think, this is hard because there's you have to say it, Aubameyang. You have to say it, Aubameyang.
You wouldn't go for who was it? Perez and.
You said I can.
Past or present.
The phone broke up and he's. We'll go for Thierry Henry.
You would go Henry.
Yeah.
Not to play that little tippy tappy one.
Oh no, I've seen that back too many times, Trent. I've seen that back too many times.
Yeah, he wasn't a bad penalty taker, was he?
No, he was good. But that penalty, I still remember that. Even though I weren't born, but when I keep on seeing it, because sometimes mates at school they like go, you ain't won a trophy in about 4 years, and then when I go to like the Spurs fans, when was the last time you won a trophy?
Yeah.
And then they like put out on their phones the penalty. I'm going like, wow, we missed one penalty. What's the big deal?
Yeah, special breed. There you go. But no, good answer. I'll take that then, Thierry Henry.
Yeah.
That one.
And then if we're saying players now, I'd have to go for Aubameyang.
Yeah.
So thank you, Trent, for coming on Sloughs Finest.
No problem at all. Keep up the good work, mate.
Enjoy the playoffs.
I will.
Remember, if you're on screen, do a hand signal, wave, and we hope to see you soon.
Yeah, take care, mate.
Right.
See you soon.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.